Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm continuing my break-in service here, the running in check, and next up on the list is going to be the oil and filter change. And so far, what I've done is I've deleted the running in RPM limit, and let's see what else. I set the reset the service reminder and put my countdown distance to a custom setting of 3,000 miles. Because I'm going to change my oil well before 6,000, which is the recommended, but I just, with this engine, I'm going to change it way before then. And let's see what else. The other thing that I'm going to need to do here is to readjust the steering head bearing, and that's the, I think probably the bigger part of the running in service or the running in check. Okay, over here at the left-hand side of the bike, I'm going to be taking the left lower panel off here. I'm just taking a look at the orientation of the oil filter. It seems like it would be easier to get to on this side, so I'm going to be taking this panel off. So I'm just going to be doing this by hand. I'm not going to use a tool. I like to get a feel of just like a hand torque as to what these are from the factory. So I like to just back it off a little bit and just by hand, because this is all plastic anyway, so, and just kind of get a feel of where I'm at as far as what it should be tightened down to. Just for these, I'm not going to be using a torque wrench on plastic. Okay, so what I've done here is I've taken all the fasteners off this bottom panel with the exception of this one right here. I'm just leaving that one on, the very last one to take off, so I can have a handle on it somewhere here and it doesn't just fall off onto the ground. That's the last thing you want to have happen. Okay, so I've got the side panel off, and just one thing too. This fastener here, and there's one back by the chain. These are a little bit different, and they also have a very small plastic washers, so watch out for that so you don't lose those if you end up doing this. All right, so you can see the oil filter here, and also see another something I'm going to have to address too. I'm not sure I'm going to get this chain lube off the catalytic converter back here, but it's baked on. I don't know if I'm just going to be able to wipe that off or if I'm going to have to use something else to get it off, but well, it looks like it's just kind of coming off of my finger, so if hopefully I'll luck out and I won't have to scrub it off, but I'm gonna have to get that off of there too. I got to start the bike up. I'm gonna let it warm up. I prefer to do it that way. I'm gonna get it warmed up, get everything in suspension so it pulls it all out. What I'm gonna do here is use a strap type wrench on this thing, and it should work just fine. And for God's sakes, don't drive a screwdriver through this thing. I've seen guys do that. I don't know why you'd want to do that. You could really damage something unnecessarily. Anyway, so be back to you. So I'm just going to wipe it all down in here, make sure there's no dirt or gravel or anything that could potentially find its way into the engine. Don't want that happening either. So anyway, what I'm going to show you here, this I'm going to be using this strap type filter wrench, and I should be able to get a bite on this thing and get it off of here. So just another option for you guys too, and you can find these pretty cheap anywhere. But that's what's going on here, guys. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and let the bike warm up to operating temperature. Okay, so I'm going to be using a T50 for the drain plug, and I'm going to loosen it up, and we'll drop the oil out. Okay guys, so I'm letting the oil drain out here, so just heads up, if you decide to change your oil, man, that oil, when you pull that drain plug, it comes out with a vengeance, so be ready for that. That surprised me. So if any of you are curious, on the first oil change, I don't know if you can see that. That's what I've got sitting on the magnet right now. If I can keep it focused here. Let me see if I can bring it in a little bit closer there. So there's first oil change, and of course I'm going to clean that off. Thought you guys might be interested to see what my filings there look like, my break-in filings look like compared to maybe yours if you do the same thing. So I thought you might find this interesting, a little trick that you can do here. This is a jeweler's loupe, and so you can have a closer look at the situation here. My break-in service here with the the leftovers from the engine running in. Okay, there's the cleaned up magnet and drain plug. A little better focus there. Ready to go back in. Okay, so I'm gonna get the drain plug back in here in just one moment. And you gotta be careful of that. Those catalytic converters are hot. I got the new washer in there, and we'll make sure that it spins freely and that we're not cross-threading, and we're good there. And we'll have a little wipe down to do. And there we go. Good. All right, now we'll just need to set the torque on the drain plug, which is about 20 foot-pounds as I recall. Okay, so I've got it set at 15 foot-pounds, and okay, and then I'm going to walk it up just a few more foot-pounds, and I'm going to err on the side of caution and go a little under spec, and there it is. That's all I'm going to do right there. Okay, so let's see how we do with this wrench here, and I think we'll be fine. Let's see. Yeah, that works wonderful. So I should have it loose enough here. This usually makes a mess, so I think I might put a little bit of rag in here and then take it out, just in case we got any residual. I don't really want it all over the exhaust. Okay, so let's see how we do here. We'll go ahead and get this off here. Yep, messy. That's okay. And then we'll let it drain. There we go. Make sure we got the gasket. Don't want to be doubling up on gaskets here. That'll cause you a nightmare too. So there we go. Looks good. All right, let's get that other filter ready. Okay, new oil filter here. And now the directions call for just getting it onto the or up onto the aluminum, and then just hand tighten it. It doesn't actually give a torque spec on the filter itself. It just says get it up onto the engine and then hand tighten. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, we got everything wiped down and cleaned up, and the oil filter's hand tight. I'll verify its integrity after I get the oil in it and get it started up. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a few minutes to see if I can experiment with getting this chain oil off the cat. It's on there pretty good. It's cooked on. So I'm gonna try a little steel wool here, and I'm gonna see what kind of results I get. I mean, the steel wool seems to once it's been baked on here thoroughly, seems to lift it off a little bit. Let's give it a little better appearance, I guess. Some of this is on there pretty good, but You might try steel wool if you've tried other things. Okay, I wanted to point something out here. I recall reading about some guy saying that their window was leaking, and maybe it was leaking. I don't know for sure. I can't be positive about that. But one thing that I will say here, that this window is in close proximity to the front sprocket. And what happens is when the engine heats up and that lubricant's slinging off and it gets up on the engine case, and you can see up in here where it's dripping down the case and around the window here, and actually onto this bolt too. And I know that it's off the sprocket because it's white from the factory. And so I'm wondering if maybe there's some misdiagnosis there with the oil window leaking. And I'm looking at mine, and that was my first impression, like, I'm seeing some residual here, but it's coming off the front sprocket where it's dripping out, or from that factory oil that they put on there. Okay, so this bike takes about 3.5 liters of oil, so I'm going to put the first liter in and keep on going. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start it up and just make sure we don't have any leaks. Okay, so I'm about in need of another half liter in here, so I'm going to go ahead and top it off now and get everything back together, guys. So it's a fairly simple process. And one other thing I wanted to say too, I really like the way BMW makes it easy to take off the side panel. I've had some sport bikes, man, it's just a nightmare, but this is one of the easiest side panels I've ever taken off a sport bike. So anyway, something to look forward to if you decide to take this job on. All right, guys, that's about all I have for you right now, and the next one's going to be the big task, and that's going to be retorquing the steering head bearings. So we'll get to that. Thanks, guys.